The desert area out here is a playground for a lot of off-highway vehicle enthusiasts, dirt bikes, ATVs, sand vehicles. We can get in excess of 20,000 people in one particular area. I mean, over the whole of the desert area, it could swell 50 to 100,000 people. We don't know who they are, we don't know where they are, we don't know where they come from.
On the weekend of New Year's Eve, we were out for a holiday weekend deployment, as we normally are on holiday weekends, and we received a call of a child in a mine shaft.
We were out here doing our normal detail, covering the desert during these busy holiday weekends. We were happened to be on one of the dirt roads, just kind of cruising, patrolling the area, when we heard BLM come across our radio saying they had a possible young juvenile down a mine shaft. So what we did is we initiated our response to that area.
We made contact with the victim, determined his injuries and at what pace we needed to move to extricate him. We determined that he was injured with minor injuries so that we would have a little time to set up a system and get down there.
That's when we decided to go ahead and we started setting up our system to get the juvenile out of the shaft, mine shaft. Of course, when we got there, we noticed that we took a visual of the shaft. We looked down and see how far the kid was. We visually looked down the hole and we were able to see who's about approximately between 30 to 40 feet down the hole.
Initially, when I'm up above, you know, we got trying to get lights down to him, talking to him, finding out how alert he is. Does he know does he remember how he got down in the hole? Was there any loss of consciousness?
The family had been out riding ATVs. From one of the recognized trails, at the top of that trailhead, they'd noticed some openings to some what could well be mines, whether abandoned or not, and they decided to go exploring and walked down towards the mines and took a look inside and took some photographs. And one of the children in the party wandered off, and as he walked around the corner, not 10 feet in from the opening, obviously there was very little light. The adjustment from the eyes of being in the bright sunlight to being in complete darkness, he literally fell down a 30-foot shaft.
I was the paramedic on scene, so I was the one who was going to go down in the hole. And I thought about it and I decided that why don't we just set up for the worst case scenario as it is at this point, given the fact of potential head injury and stuff, and let's get ready with the Stokes basket and the whole 9 yards. So we're not down there, and I get down there and I find something more critical than I thought, and then now we got to change plan in midway.
At that time we started lowering him some safety gear, you know, gave him a helmet, some goggles, and a jacket just to protect him from loose falling debris that was coming from mid-shaft. And then we kept communication, making sure he was, you know, was able to talk to us and appeared normal medically wise to, you know, we didn't have to expedite super quick to get him out of the mine shaft.
He did state for one moment that he was a little vague on the memory of initially landing in the hole. He couldn't remember that. So, and that was another reason why we went full bore with Stokes and everything, because don't know if he has some sort of head injury and if it's going to continue to get worse. But in his case, I go through, ask him his name, his birthday, just hold a general conversation with him and see how he responds.
First it went in horizontal, then it turned into a vertical shaft. So we were about 10 feet into this horizontal shaft. Then if you make a sudden left turn, then it's 30 to 40 foot vertical shaft that goes straight down. So I stayed in the hole with the other firefighter just to make sure that everything was safe up top.
I was concerned with just being in the hole and taking care of Isaac at that time. So, and I totally trust that the guys up above were gonna get us out and fine. So
it still involved approximately 20 rescuers to go in, not because it was a particularly difficult or deep rescue, but because of the hauling device and the fact that there was a tunnel or an attic, as I've learned, and then a shaft inside the attic. It was very difficult to get the equipment, people inside a small opening, and then around the corner, and then down the hole. And with the hauling system, the 3-to-1 advantage on the haul line, where they could actually get their anchor points That in itself was difficult.
If for falling 40 feet down a hole or whatever the exact distance is, I'm not exactly sure, he was in pretty good spirits. I think he was more just scared and I think a little claustrophobic, and that's probably where some of his shortness of breath came. From what I understand, he was breathing a lot better once he got out. So
you can see these mine entrances from a distance. They don't look any different closer up, and once you get inside, should you decide you want to do that, you can't see anything anyway. It's pitch black. All you're going to do is probably injure yourself or people that are with you. So the standard message, stay out, stay alive, is perfect. The trails are marked for a reason. They've been tried, they've been tested, they're safe. You move away from the trails, you're in uncharted territory. We don't know what's around there. We've heard of the ground caving in as people have walked across it because of people who've been burrowing underneath previously. Stay out, stay alive, stay away.
Isaac was lucky. He could have been severely injured, if not, killed. So, because there was some debris and stuff in the bottom of that hole, that particular hole, that he's lucky he didn't fall on top of.
Education is a good thing from a young age. If we can get the children and educate them as to the dangers of the desert. Yes, it's fun, come out, have a great time, have a great weekend, but be aware of the dangers that lie out there. There's probably thousands of mines, thousands of excavations that we don't know about. So anybody can come out into the desert, pitch up a camp on the weekend, take their ATVs up into these mountains, which are so beautiful behind me, and enjoy them. And if they don't stay on the trails, there could be a huge problem. It's a huge problem for us to get people, equipment out into these desolate areas and to effect a rescue safely and with positive consequences.
Stay out and stay alive.